T-Mobile has announced that it is gobbling up UScellular, the nation's fifth largest carrier. What does this mean? Any implications? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center here to give you an update on UScellular, a carrier that not a lot of people pay attention to unless you live in one of the certain states where UScellular is actually, in some ways, very dominant. Now, UScellular is the nation's largest regional cellular carrier. So unlike AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Dish, which have licenses to provide service nationwide, UScellular only has certain areas of certain states that it has coverage in and has licenses to operate. But in some of those states, like particularly Iowa, Maine, Western Washington and Oregon, North Carolina, West Virginia, in a lot of those places, UScellular actually has the best service and coverage compared to the big nationwide carriers. But it only operates in those states. So we've not typically recommended UScellular to most of our audience of nomads who travel because even though UScellular plans roam, they will cut you off and not give you service if you spend too much time out of their home territories. And well, overall, their plans haven't been that great. But well, the days of regional cellular carriers seem to be coming to an end. A lot of them have been getting gobbled up, and now UScellular, the largest, has announced that they have agreed to be acquired in large part by T-Mobile. So T-Mobile, which acquired Sprint not too long ago, is now taking on UScellular. All UScellular customers will become T-Mobile customers. All UScellular stores will become T-Mobile stores. And, well, not all UScellular spectrum and towers will become T-Mobile towers. It's interesting structure. T-Mobile's only acquiring 30% of UScellular spectrum and towers and is then going to be leasing the rest for a very long period of time from the corporate parent that remains behind once UScellular sells all the rest out to T-Mobile. So this is kind of the end of UScellular. It's probably as a consumer brand going to go away. It's just going to be a holding company behind the scenes owning spectrum rights in certain states. And it's kind of a big shift for T-Mobile. They're all going to take on all these additional UScellular customers, and T-Mobile customers will now get access to coverage in all of these rural places and particularly certain states where UScellular had some dominant coverage and towers. So some interesting shifts. Big changes for the industry overall, less competition, less, kind of this really marks the end of the era of regional cellular carriers. It's just going to be the nationwide carriers. Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T being dominant, and Dish, while struggling along to be the fourth nationwide carrier. And, well, that does assume this deal actually goes through. This is a major merger, and it will not close until 2025, sometime mid-2025, assuming there are no objections, there are no federal or state regulators that intervene to try and stop this. So we'll be watching this to see how it goes. UScellular customers, at some point in the near future, you will get access to all of T-Mobile's network as this deal progresses. So you'll suddenly have a lot better roaming nationwide and no more roaming limits. So stay tuned for that if you're a UScellular customer, and if you're a T-Mobile customer at some point, well, look for better coverage in certain states, and stay tuned for more.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.